Happy Coffee Talk Monday. This is Dr. Michelle. How are you? Thanks for being here again today. I love these Coffee Talk Mondays. It's a real privilege for me to have you here and have the opportunity to talk about any number of topics. There's so many endless amount of topics to talk about. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I love, that's near and dear to my heart. Fixed versus growth mindset. You're like, what's that? There's been a lot of research done over the last so many years on the brain, of course, but the brain's ability to change and adapt. Guess what? We all have the ability to change and adapt. The brain has what's called neuroplasticity. I love that word. What that means is we can grow new neurons, synapses, and change what we think about something, how we perceive something, and how we deal with situations, which for me is so awesome because that's what I do. So, what is a fixed versus a growth mindset? Have you ever heard people say, she's not going to change. There's no sense talking to him because it's not going to make a difference. It's a pretty common thing to hear from people about other people. But the truth is, that is what we consider a fixed mindset. Can't change, can't grow, can't learn new things. I am who I am. I'm never going to be anything different. This is it. And in that fixed mindset comes a lot of times doubt, fear, negativity, all of those things that breed lack of confidence, anxiety, lack of motivation. All the things that we don't want really come from that fixed mindset. But when we learn that we have the ability to grow and expand, we start to come from this place of growth mindset. Growth means growing, expanding, learning, being open to that, realizing that today things don't have to be what they were yesterday, and tomorrow doesn't have to be the same as today, right? In terms of everything, really, because things that happen in our world really stem from inside of us, right? Inside of our brain. So that's where the thinking comes from. Like, today didn't go well, but there's tomorrow, and here's what I can do tomorrow. Or, I'm feeling really anxious about X. What can I do different tomorrow, or what can I do to change that so that tomorrow is not the same? Growth mindset. Wow, it's all about also understanding that there's a process, right? There's not just like the beginning and the end, but enjoy the journey. Stop and smell the roses. They're kind of both growth mindset. But growth mindset brings that sort of curiosity and flexibility and allows us the opportunity to not feel like we're kind of stuck where we are, but there's more, right? When it comes to, work, sports, music, performance, it's also about understanding that I can keep getting better. Deliberate practice, right? Going back to what I was talking about last week or the week before about 10,000 hours principle and how important it is to put in deliberate time and effort to what you want. And, a lifetime of growing and expanding is going to continue to help us evolve and be better people. And when I say grow and expand, I don't just mean as an athlete, as a performer, as a musician, as a business person, personally. So, fixed versus growth. Which end of the spectrum do you want to be on? I know I want to be on the growth mindset end of the spectrum because I want to always be learning and growing. I want to be curious about what's out there. Part of this conversation, I think that's really critical and important is not only are we able to see this, but are we able to help kids see this? There's been a ton of research done on it. So it is a thing, fixed versus growth mindset, 10,000 hours, deliberate practice. These are things. I'm not just making these things up. They are important things. And I think that these are things that are really important to be able to not only talk to kids about, but build into our relationship with them. Part of this is how we communicate. And one of the things that's always stood out for me, and I was sort of just reacquainted with this not too long ago, is Carol Dweck and how she says, not yet. So you didn't score as many goals as you wanted to, not yet. You didn't get an A in math, not yet. I really like using not yet because it really helps to reinforce that growth mindset. You didn't get that top spin on the ball, not yet. Think about that. I don't know about you, but for me, not yet makes me feel hopeful. Like, yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but it can. And then you can think about how to keep moving forward and make it happen. What do I need to do? Not how do I have that, how do I get there? Which also goes back to so many of the conversations I've had around goal setting, right? Being in it, being present in it, in the journey, in the process that helps you get to where you want to go. Not let's hurry up and get you there, because unfortunately, there is no such thing as that. So as a coach, as a teacher, as a parent, when you're talking to kids, see if you can start to incorporate that not yet into the conversation. See how it goes. I kind of like it. The other last thing that I really wanted to talk about today was feedback versus criticism, because I think this is also a little bit of the conversation, right? Criticism complains and feedback explains. We can really get into this place of being critical, especially when we think a certain thing should happen, right? When we're coming from that sort of place of fixed mindset versus growth mindset. But when we can come back and have a conversation that comes from a place of feedback that's specific to the situation, that is not about the individual, that gives opportunity for change and growth, and that you can give recommendations around that change and growth. Another really helpful tool, I think, to start moving in this growth arena versus this fixed arena. So I gave you a lot to think about today, but it kind of all connects, and hopefully I've helped you to be able to see that. Hopefully I've helped you be able to see that you can have a fixed mindset, but that's not really the best place to be. The best place to be is in a growth mindset, and change is possible. I've seen it. I've done it. I've helped other people do it. The words you use are critically important, and how you communicate feedback is also critically important. So, I don't know. Give it some thought. See what you think. If you have questions or comments that you want to leave me, again, you can leave them here. You can email me. You can set up a time to chat, whatever works for you. I hope you have a really great week. Summer is going to be on its way out soon, and fall is approaching. So take care, be well, and I'll see you next Monday.